Hello and welcome. Today I brought you a super simple and helpful portrait drawing tutorial. I've broken everything down into 5 easy steps to help you understand the basics and build confidence. So let's dive right in. Before we begin, grab a piece of paper or your sketchbook, a pencil, and an eraser. Step 1. Draw a circle. Yes, you heard me right. Just start with a circle. It might seem basic, but it's actually one of the most important exercises. If you want to draw a face, start by learning to draw a clean, round circle. Keep practicing until your hand feels comfortable. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the more symmetrical it is, the better it will serve as your base. Step 2. Lines and curves. Now you might be thinking, what do lines and curves have to do with the face? Well, here's the fun part. You can actually sketch an entire face using just circles, lines, and curves. So let's practice these together using a reference image. If you already have one, great. Or just follow along with the reference I am using. Here's my circle. Now I draw a vertical line. That's the center line running through the middle of the face. Then come the chin area, the ear. You see, I'm using lines and curves to get the placements of the face. And bit by bit, you'll see how these simple shapes start forming a face. Now, your sketch might look worse than mine, or maybe even better. But if your features feel off, like eyes too far apart or a small nose, that means we need to understand the structure a bit more. Which brings us to our next step. Step 3. Structure and shapes. Now, don't worry, this sounds a bit technical, but we'll keep it fun and visual. So, when I talk about a structure, I mean how the face is proportioned. Here's a simple way to think about it. The head can be divided into 3 main zones: forehead, eyebrows and nose, lips and chin. Now, the circle you drew earlier usually ends at the lips. To form the chin and jaw, add a triangle or a box shape underneath the circle. Every person's face is unique, so the jaw shape will vary from one portrait to another. Here's a quick exercise. Open a portrait on your phone, tablet, or computer. Use the edit or draw tool to trace basic shapes on top of the face like circles, lines, curves. Do this for 5 to 6 references daily, even just for 5 to 8 minutes. Now, this will help you to train your eyes to see shapes. See how I do it here. I'm using a reference photo, going into the draw mode and adding shapes. So here's the circle, the jaw, ear, nose, lips, and even the hairline. These basic shapes help break the face down into manageable parts. And if you prefer a hands on approach, print out portrait photos and draw the shapes over them. This exercise is key for understanding facial proportions. Step 4. Shading and cross-hatching. Now we move into bringing your portrait to life by adding depth. So every face has three main tonal values: dark tones, mid-tones, and light tones. Let's look at a reference again. So I'll mark dark areas with red, mid-tones with green, and light areas with blue. Start by identifying the darkest parts. Usually they are under the nose, chin, or eyebrows. But don't shade these fully black. Instead, build up the tone gradually in layers. Next, lightly shade the mid-tone areas. They are softer than the dark ones. And leave the light areas blank or barely touched. I would suggest you to always convert your reference image into black and white. This helps you to clearly see light versus dark areas. Now here's a pro tip. Use the same shapes from step 3 to block in the highlight zones. This way, you won't accidentally darken them while shading. Well, that was a long one. Now take a breather. While I sketch everything we have learned so far, enjoy this short time lapse of the portrait coming together before we move to our last step. Step 5. Highlights. This is the most satisfying step. And for this, you can use a mechanical eraser, a small shaped eraser piece for details, a white gel pen or sketch pen. Now focus on these key areas: the tip and bridge of the nose, the chin, the center of the eyelids, and the iris of the eyes. These subtle highlights bring the drawing to life and add that final bit of realism. And that's it. If you followed along, I'd love to see your work. Tag me on Instagram and show me your portraits. Have any doubts or questions? Drop a comment below. I'm happy to help. Now I'm adding few details in this portrait. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Happy drawing.